you said that seeing him for 2 months has impacted what you think of him. What Give me the nuances of what he does, and the kind of in the weed stuff that he does that you just have to you would have to watch him play every night to see.
Let's go hoop
There are
head,
two.
Tony. Let's get in
There are
that. Let's get in
two.
that basketball mind.
No, this is easy. There are two guys in the world who impact every single possession, who can slow you down, who you can't speed up, and that's Nikola Jokic and LeBron James. There's the only two guys that can that can take over every single possession and impact every single possession and control things every single possession. It's like Magic Johnson. And he and LeBron are the two best passers in the league. But the way he's, this is going to seem absolutely silly to say, but Nikola Jokic, who had 30 points, 14 rebounds, 13 assists last night, his impact even went beyond those numbers. And his impact goes beyond his numbers every night, which is crazy because his numbers are bonkers. And he just the way he influences every set, not only offensively but defensively. And you looked at, like, people talk about, okay, well, you could take advantage of him and pick and roll. Anthony Davis tried to post him up a number of times in this series, and Jokic just stonewalled him. And it's just one of those things where he's such a good player at every facet, and he impacts every facet that it's just hard to describe how good he's been in this playoff run.
Well, to me, the element that I feel like would be gained from watching a lot of Jokic is like the numbers are one thing, but I think we got to include the novelty that he's huge. Like he's doing this.
He's ginormous,
and he's
Yeah,
huge.
he takes
Like
up a lot of space.
it's like the opposite of Steph, right? Where you look at Steph and you be like part of the novelty is he's 6'3" and he's doing this, right? It's like this is not supposed to happen. It's similar with Jokic. Like, you're not supposed to be 285 pounds doing this. Yeah. Like that's not how it's supposed to go. And
shooting one-legged jumper,
like,
one-legged threes.
That's the part where you just gotta witness it, right? Like, how we gonna be, Tony. We gonna be 70 years old in a barbershop somewhere, you know what I'm saying, with something in our hand in a brown paper bag, talking about, man, it was this one dude, you know what I'm saying? He was like,
called him the Joker. Yeah, called him the Joker.
Right? Like that's how the OGs talk about, like, Larry Bird. And like, right. Yeah, that boy was cold. He's one of them type figures where what you're watching, like, you got to grapple with it. It doesn't make the obvious sense. Kind of like when LeBron first came, it was like, we never seen nobody that big running like that. Right. Like, it takes a minute to, like, you know what I'm saying, get the coal out your eyes and be like, oh, okay, like that. To me, that's Jokic, and I think a lot of people who didn't watch him because he plays in Denver, right? Yeah, because you don't get that much exposure. Like, it's just jarring. Like, I mean, Tony, you stood next to this dude, like, he's huge. And it puts a different perspective on what he does.
But the best thing that and this goes back to how perfectly they are designed. The best thing that he does defensively is that he shrinks the floor defensively with his size.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always been. There are two guys in the league who are like this, Nikola Jokic and Jusuf Nurkic. Both of those guys are so big and ginormous and wide.
Well, Brook Lopez is pretty good at it too.
Brook Lopez is the same way. Yeah. They shrink the floor defensively in the middle. So there's just less space in the middle because those guys are there, whether they rim protect or not. And Brook rim protects, Jusuf and Nikola, they don't rim protect.
Yeah.
But so the Nuggets, now you take Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Bruce Brown, Christian Brown, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. All of those guys are in between 6'5" and 6'8", or 6'5" and 6'10". They're all long, and they're shrinking the space on the perimeter. So what makes Denver such a good defensive team at this point is that there's no space on the floor because those 6'5" to 6'10" guys with all long arms, real athletic, they're all shrinking the floor on the perimeter. And then you got this guy who's a plant in the middle who's shrinking the floor. So there's not a lot of room to play offense on the basketball court against the Denver Nuggets, and Nikola Jokic is a huge part of that.